Well, welcome to Bulgaria. I'm here on a 3-day fishing trip with our Bulgarian distributor Zakranka, and I'm fishing with Peter and one of his mates for 3 days. So we're here from today until Saturday. I arrived bright and early this morning at about 6 AM, absolutely shattered, travelled through the night flying and all that malarkey. So I had a kip straight away. I had sort of 3 or 4 hours kip this morning, and then we got the rods out. It's very, very different to my normal style of fishing. This is proper holiday carp fishing, really comfortable in beautiful surroundings and no people. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy myself. We're staying in like these big sort of wooden huts almost, real luxury. They've got like a fire in there. You can stick your bed chair in there if the weather gets bad. Oh, it's absolutely superb and dead quiet, you know. There's no people, so you're not overcrowded. There's not people casting over you or anything like that. It's fantastic. So we've got the rods out. As you'll see, we're fishing on like these sort of large pontoons. We're having to use pods. And again, it's different to what I'm used to, so I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. We've put the rods out using bait boats. We're fishing quite long range, maybe sort of 170, 180 yards over to the far bank where there are no swims. So the fish obviously like it over there because it's nice and quiet. There's no weed in the lake at all. It's full of big carp. They go up to 70 pounds. So I'd absolutely love to latch into one of them. You never know. But yeah, Peter's rods are out, the other guy's rods are out, and mine are now too. I've gone for a real stinky sort of tuna approach. It's very, very coloured water here, so I'm going for smell as the main thing. I've got snowmounds on all 3 rods, one tip with a tuna tipper, the other with a Northern Special, and the other with just a matching sort of food bait pop-up on that. So beautiful weather. It's about 19, 20 degrees, so absolutely stunning. And I'm going to enjoy these next 3 days, hopefully latch into something massive. So it's lunchtime now. I'll keep you updated. Well, I've just reeled one rod in because I've just seen some carp down the far end, so reel the others in. I'm going to take one rod down there, just flick a PVA bag on top of it with Peter. We stood there for about 2 minutes, saw 2 fish crash straight out the water. So I'm just going to reel those rods in. I've got one rod out here that I'm going to use as the actual fishing rod. We don't want to overcrowd it, so I'm going to have one rod each, go down there, lay them on the deck, and you never know, we could snare one quickly. I think they're down in the shallower water today because of the nice warm weather. So yeah, we're fishing. We're going to have a little stalk up for a bit. Right, so we've moved now, and as you can see down there, both Peter and I are just plotted up on one of the jetties. Just flicked one rod out each, and another one's just boomed out over there. It sounded like a big fish as well, so yeah, we're in position. Just need the carp to play ball now. First Bulgarian carp. Well, it's the afternoon of the first day and it's been hectic to say the least. So you might have seen a load of different shots from different swims because typical Englishman, I've been here, there and everywhere, and I've settled on this area for the last few hours. I had a walk early. I wasn't happy where we started. Peter and the other guy set up early in the swims up the far end, and to be honest, I didn't feel like there was a lot of fish there. So I went for a wander around the whole lake and looked at the shallow end, and straight away we saw a couple of carp head and shoulder. And lo and behold, there were quite a few fish here. So yeah, typical like I would do in the UK. I ran back, got all my rods and brought them down here. and I managed to catch a fish on each rod. Managed to catch 3 fish, which is a right result really, and I feel like I'm going to get another one. I'm not going to come down here for the night time. They may only be small fish down here. The ones I've been seeing, you know, have been sort of 20s, and the bigger fish tend to come from the other end. But I'm going to give it sort of the days here and then fish the nights up the other end where Peter and the guys think that the bigger fish are. So it's nice to get a bite. I've caught my first Bulgarian carp, which was a right result in beautiful weather, and I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Each one of them were in mint condition, really, really good mouths, fins. It's just a fantastic holiday venue really. So if you're looking for somewhere to sort of bring the family or some mates and, you know, have a good holiday with some good fishing, you're near the beach as well. Sunny Beach is only up the road as well, so you can have a fantastic holiday, catch some carp, go clubbing, go to the beach, do whatever you want, have a really good holiday and enjoy yourself, which is exactly what I'm doing, minus the sunny beach bit. But the rods are back out now after having that flurry of action, all on the tuna, tipped with white tuna, and I'm hopefully going to latch into one of the bigger ones. So next time you hear from me, hopefully it will be with another fish. Towards the end of day 1, and to be honest, it's been absolute carnage from the outset. I arrived here at 6 AM this morning, had a little snooze to catch up on a bit of sleep from the nightmare travelling throughout the night. Woke up about 9 o'clock, 9:30, just full of excitement really. I just wanted to get the rods out, so quickly got the rods out in this swim here next to Peter and his mate, and within an hour I thought to myself that they're not here. I just didn't feel like the carp were here, so decided to go and have a little scoot around, a little wander with Peter, and after about 2 minutes down in the shallows we saw a few fish jump out. So that was my decision made. Peter decided actually to come up this way, but I reeled in all 3 rods, wandered down to the shallows and had a pretty amazing day. It was 7 carp, topped by one of 35 pounds, a glorious long common carp. Real powerful fish that fought like crazy. So yeah, I've had a wonderful afternoon catching 7 fish, and to be honest, if I had it my way I'd stay down there. But I'm here to socialise with the boys as well, do a bit of work, talk about work, so I can't stay down there sort of hauling all night, although they think they'll move up here, but to be honest I think they'll stay down there. But happy to fish up here anyway. Apparently this is where a lot of the big ones come from, so I'm going to get the rods out now. And in the morning, if it's nice and sunny again, which is supposed to be, I'll reel in, I'll get myself straight back down to the shallows to hopefully haul all day again. So yeah, that's it. This is the scene at the moment. Tying up lots of rigs, been through loads of hooks today, crank size 4s, just sort of standard knotless knots with a bit of tubing on, a little bit of silicone tubing, northern specials and tuna toppers on the top of Pacific tuna bottom baits doing the business. So yeah, carnage. Well, good morning. Unfortunately last night, no carp for me. I had a sturgeon at silly o'clock in the morning, must have been about 18 pounds, something like that, so that woke me up. But although I didn't catch anything, the other lad did. Svet, one of Peter's mates who's fishing with us, has had an absolute whacker this morning. He thinks it's over 50, so he's proved his theory right that the big fish like to feed up this end at night time. Although the action hasn't been frantic, he's had a whacker, so if we have a 50-pounder on our hands, that'd be rather nice. So for me, I'm going to head back down to the shallows when the sun gets up. Looks like it's coming through shortly. It was a Baltic night last night, really cold. And this morning's really misty. It's absolutely beautiful with the mist sort of rolling off the hills over there. It's a really moody morning, and looks like Svet's got an absolute whacker. So let's go and have a look. So I'm just going to tie up a few rigs for the day. I got absolutely hammered for tackle yesterday. Got through loads of hooks, loads of hook lengths. So I've had a bit of a switch over. I was using Kamakura cranks yesterday in size 4. Now those things are absolutely pin sharp. I mean pin sharp. So after every fish they were blunting. To be honest, I didn't think I'd be getting so many bites, so I thought I'll use the Kamakuras so I can try and convert as many pickups into takes as possible, which is obviously what happened. But I'm just getting through so many. To be honest, I think a normal style crank would do the job just as well, and I wouldn't have to keep chopping and changing the hooks. So I'm just swapping over to normal hooks today rather than the absolute pin sharp Kamakuras, just so I can fish a little bit more efficiently and quickly, really, especially if I'm going to be getting loads of bites. So I'm doing that now, switching over. I've kept things nice and simple, just fishing snowman rigs, but today I'm switching over to bigger baits as well. I'm going to fish 24 mils on the hair today with little 14 mil Northern Special Plus sitting on the top. That's the plan. I'm fishing pretty beefy, size 4 hooks, sort of 25 pound or 20 pound even hook length. They're big fish in here. And there's also some sort of sunken branches and stuff as well, which I had to get the fish through yesterday. So you got to fish strong, so strong effective tackle, great bait, seems to be working. So I'm going to tie up a couple more rigs, or 3 rigs, and I'm going to head back down to the shallows, see if I can catch some more. Well, I'm back in the same swim that I was yesterday, moved once again because I've seen a couple of fish down in this bay. I've brought 2 rods down, Peter's brought a rod down too, and we're hopefully going to have a good day like we had yesterday. Maybe a few bigger fish as well, that'd be nice. Really shallow down this end, bright and sunny again, so there's no reason why the fish won't be here again. So we're going to give it a few hours down here to see what happens, and see how it goes. Well, we're just getting into lunchtime now, and safe to say that the action has been absolute mayhem this morning, just like where it left off yesterday. This morning I woke up, decided that after a pretty pants night's fishing that a move was on the cards again, and I wasn't convinced that I was going to catch up there anyway. I just went up there for a nice social, and yeah, just sort of first night, have a bit of grub with everybody and settle in. But all I had was a sturgeon, so we've moved down here this morning back into the shallows. It's scorching hot again. It must be 20-21 degrees today. Lovely sunshine in Bulgaria, and Peter and I have decided to move down here, and since moving I've had 4-5 fish, up to about 25-26 pounds, so it's been pretty frantic. Peter's caught a few as well, and so the move was well worth it. Although we hadn't any big ones yet, we're convinced there's some bigger ones down here because we keep seeing fish show, and a few of them have been decent ones as well. So we're going to try and wade through these small ones and hope that a big one comes along. I'm sure it will do. I think tonight, rather than flogging a dead horse up there, where I just don't feel comfortable. I think I'm going to move down here and keep trying to get bites, and eventually I'm hoping that a big one will turn up. The guy's going to stay out there that caught the big one this morning. He's had a couple of small ones and obviously that 51. So his theory of the big fish turning up there at night for him worked, but I'm hemmed in a corner up there. I'm not fishing the same water at all. He's sort of got a lot of the open water, and although he's not getting as many bites, he has had the big one, which, you know, he did say would happen, but I'm just too hemmed in up there. I don't think I'm going to catch anything up there. Certainly not like the action I'm getting down here. So I'm happy. I'm getting bites in beautiful weather. So however big they are, I'm enjoying myself. And yeah, I'm going to keep wading through these little ones and just hope there could be a 60 or a 70 could turn up, because there's some monster carp in here. It's an awesome lake, really is. Wonderful hospitality, beautiful weather, good company, and I'm having a really good time in Bulgaria. Tactics wise today, I have upped the bait size, as I said earlier. I've gone to 24 mils. They're boating out to a spot on the far margin, and I'm placing baits about 5 foot from there. Lots of fish showing, really tight. It's a not a no fishing zone, but there are no swims over there, so the fish clearly like it on that far margin. Probably put about 50 baits over the top, 18 millers and 24 millers, and yeah, the tactics seem to be working at the moment, so got to keep going. I'm going to enjoy the sunshine, go and get a drink of water because I'm feeling pretty dehydrated, and hopefully we'll get another bite or two. Well, I just went to get some water. I came back. Daniela has stolen one on my rod. And Peter is in as well. It's crazy down this end today. Lots of carp. We're just hoping that a big one turns up soon. We're catching lots of small ones today. Hey. Well done, mate. Was that casting as well? Good man. Proper fishing. Right, so complete change of plan. I've had a wonderful afternoon. I've actually managed the biggest fish of my trip so far, over 38 pounds. It was actually 38.8, which is a right result, an absolute breeze block of a common. But I've decided to move back to the original plot. We're going to keep that as a daytime area and see if we can snare a stray big one up here tonight. Not really what I want to do, but I'm here with other people, so I've got to go with the flow. I'm going to fish up here tonight, give it a real good going. I've just made up some really stinky offerings. Tuna covered in tuna oil 030 and crayfish meal, so they proper stink. I'm going to put loads of bait in and just go for broke up here and see what happens really. Then I'll be straight back down into the shallows in the morning for hopefully some more action. But as you'll see, I'm fishing baits behind me. Sorry if there's a bit of wind noise. I've got one, you might see my finger towards that sort of bush there is a nice hard spot. The other one I'm fishing up in this corner just here, and the other one's just off the point of this sort of mini island type thing here. I've seen a couple of fish showing here, so there are some fish up here tonight, and I'm literally going to wander across this wall, bait up, keep wandering. Oh, little focus back in a minute on that spot. Yeah, bait up here all by hand and just sort of create a little trail up and down there. I didn't do that yesterday, I just used the boat, so different tactic, see what happens. Some mad old noises in Bulgaria. Well, good morning. It's bright and early here in Bulgaria, and my plan of action last night to catch a couple worked. I put all that bait in last night in a bit of all or nothing approach, and I had 2 bites at first light this morning. They're both smaller fish. I say smaller, but for here they're probably 20 pounds. We've actually resorted to almost slinging 20 pounders back because we're catching so many of them, and we're just trying to get through to those bigger fish now. So yeah, had a frantic morning. Peter in the night, caught a really good one, around 20 kilos. So that's, yeah, it's well over 40 pounds. Didn't get to see it as I was Sparko, but we got it on film, so I'll be able to show you that one. And Svet also caught a couple this morning. Sorry, I'm out of breath because I'm walking over to the spots now just to put a bit more grub in. See if I can get some more bites here today. I'm going to give it a couple more hours because it's early in the morning, so it's bite time. If I haven't had anything, then I'm going to go back down to that bay, see if I can snare a few where they were yesterday. But it seems to be a bit cooler today, so maybe they're on their way up here. See what happens. Well, it didn't take long for me to get itchy feet. It's getting on to about 10 AM and I think the morning sort of feeding spell seems to have dried up here. So once again, I'm on the move. I'm off to the shallows. The sun's just coming out. It's not quite as warm as it has been, but I'm convinced that they're down there. So as you can see, rods are out and I'm going to be going down that way. So see you in a bit. Well, just had a crazy spell of action where I had 3 fish, a couple of small ones, and finally I've had one of the big girls, or one of the bigger girls at just over 40. It's a lovely fish, real long powerhouse of a carp. And oh, one's just shown in the background. I don't know whether you saw that on the camera, but they're here again. The sun's got up. They've moved down here into the shallows, and it's not just small fish, obviously, because I've just had a whacker. So by this lake standards, it's yeah, above average, which is crazy to say in terms of big fish. I'm just hoping one of those real big ones are lurking about, but I'm not going to be greedy. I'm happy to have caught a big one, and yeah, let's just hope for an even bigger one. So I've made a bit of a rig change today, as you can see there. I've changed over to some stiffer boom material in 25 pounds to a simple Ronnie presentation with a wafter on. I've actually learnt that the bait size doesn't really matter. Even if I'm using like 24 millers, I'm still getting smaller ones. So I'm just wading through them really. As you've seen a minute ago, I had a real nice one over 40 pounds that was on an 18 miller. So I think the point that big baits always catch big ones is a bit of a myth really. But yeah, I've moved over to boom material and size 4 crank on a Ronnie rig. Reason being is I'm catching that many carp, getting loads of bites that a coated braid was just getting knackered up really quickly. Not only that, I've run out of PVA nuggets as well, so I'm not confident dropping from a boat with the coated braid. I just think it's going to tangle or just sit wrong. So I want that boom material to kick the hook link away. Sorry, this is so raw, but kick it away like that because it's nice and stiff, and obviously lay on the bottom nice and straight. It seems to have worked. It's also a lot more robust than the coated braid. So yeah, so far so good. Caught me that 40 pounder earlier, so rig tweak worked. Chuffed. Lifting duties. Peter has a good one. Oh wow, yes. Oh yes, chunky one. Go on. Big fish, Peter. Come on. That's a big fish. That right there is an absolute giant. Big fish in Peter's net. Huge fish. 45 plus. Easy, I would say. Maybe bigger. It's a huge common carp. Well, apologies if it's a little bit windy, but I'm down in the new area, the new plot for tonight. I've been seeing fish here all afternoon, so it seems stupid not to move on to them. So last night and I've seen Peter with that huge 52 pounder. I want a piece of that action, so I'm going to give it my best shot. I've been on pest control really, I've caught loads of carp, you know, most by a mile, but just haven't latched into any of the real big ones. So I'm going to give it a good go tonight. I've been seeing some good ones lump out, and yeah, you never know, do you? Hopefully one will come out. But just to give you a little look at the swim in front again, sorry about the wind noise. There's a few areas that I'm going to look at. One sort of on the point sort of area over there. I'll have one in the middle, and I'll have one over by these steps that I've been seeing show all afternoon. I can go around there and lob some bait in as well. So that's the plan. I hope it works. Well, good morning. The last morning hasn't produced the fairy tale end that I really wanted, but I've got a few hours left. A few hours means I can move down to the shallows just for the last couple of hours before I have to leave. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to reel in, put on big baits, head down to the shallows and see if I can winkle out one big fish before we leave. Fingers crossed. Well, we're getting into the last half an hour probably of the trip, and Peter is into a fish. So let's go and take a look. This might be the last one of the trip, so let's take a look. Whoa, a big one just showed right on my rods actually. Oh no, is it? It's got it, I think. Fish has just gone under all of my rods. Peter is now on my platform. Fish have actually just started crashing again. This could be a good fish, mate.
I believe.
Let's hope so. We'll go get the net. Not quite as big as we thought, but a mirror. A bit different. Hey, and she goes. Well, this could be the last fish of the trip, and it's a very, very pretty one.
One beautiful.
Very beautiful. If you don't see us again, thank you, mate, for a wonderful trip.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
And I would love to come back and hopefully latch into one of the big girls.
I hope you will come back.
Thanks, Peter.
No, I'm almost sure that you will come back.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate. Let's get her back.